Good morning. Welcome to AM Prime. It's Friday, the 31st of March. It's the final day of March. Can you believe it? We are already 3 months deep into 2023. So much has happened, so much growth, so much lessons, so much good things, not so good things, but we are moving forward still. We have an exciting show packed for you today. Before we get into all our interviews and what we're going to discuss, we have our daily inspiration. And today's daily inspiration is pause. Yes, that is the daily inspiration. It's pause. And for me, pause means to just take a break, take some time off, just stop, relax. And this pause, my mother always described it as a window of opportunity. That window of opportunity before you proceed to do something or before you proceed to say something or have a thought or go down a particular path, that window of opportunity presents itself. And so I'm presenting you with this opportunity to pause. Things may come up, things may not always be going according to plan, or you may be stressed, you're busy. Pause. Just stop for a moment. Try not to think about anything in that moment. Try to just maintain a sort of peace in that moment. And that pause could help save us. That pause could help, calm us down. That pause could be the very thing that we need to just give ourselves a bit of a break. So within today, within the rest of the week, this weekend, into the new month, find those moments of pause. Think of good things. Focus on, what's outside, the sun, the garden, whatever. It's just a moment for you just to pause away from all the busyness of today, of the day. We take a short break. When we come back, we have our first interview.
Trinidad, come and get blessed at the Good News Fest. Free groceries while stocks last and lots of giveaways like appliances and toys and much more with live music at each venue. 3 days only in South, March 30th at number 4 Recreation Ground, Palo Seco from 4 p.m. In Central, March 31st at Ancient Alley Promenade, Couva, 6 p.m. And in the East, April 1st, Macoya, Savannah, Macoya, 6 p.m. It's the Good News Fest, 3-day family event, March 30th to April 1st. Lots of giveaways after an encouraging word shared.
If these walls could talk, they'd cry uncle. They didn't plan to become offices or yoga studios. But they've stood by us, even when we got a little stir-crazy. For that, they deserve some thanks. They deserve Benjamin Moore.
People really want to know, what about me? Where do I fit?
Yes.
What is in the ride for me in terms of a better Trinidad and Tobago? And I'm pleased to shed some light on that.
The purpose of bail is to ensure your attendance at court. That's it. It is not punitive. It is not rehabilitative.
We, the police officers, we are professional, and we are here for whenever the survivor is ready to come forward.
We have the right to private and family life, the right to religious freedoms and beliefs and thoughts and expression. But these rights are not absolute. Certain rights can be limited.
The law is to govern the whole, it's for all of us in public.
Thank you for staying with us. For today's first interview, we'll be speaking with Jude Patrick, who's the founder of Rudyard Dub Night Market. And we, want to speak to him about the wonderful space that is Rudyard, the community that has been able to be built with that, the culture that is spread, and, the sort of change that now has to take place. Jude, good morning. Thank you for being here with us.
Hi, Dominique. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We're alive.
Okay, yes, there is that. And we're grateful for life this morning. So we want to take a couple step backs and, talk about Roots Yard and the beginning of Roots Yard, the origin. How did this all start?
Well, wow. Let's see. Roots Yard is going to be 5 years this year.
Wow.
In May. We started off Alice Yard, well-known Alice Yard. My wife was one of the directors there at It's Organic. And on a Friday night, we'll be like, what to do, where to go, life-changing, consciousness rising a little more. So you're looking to find spaces that would give you that comfort.
Right.
And encourage, friends and families to come together. So we decided to actually start this movement at Alice Yard.
Okay.
And in those days, we had like a couple vendors that will bring their stuff at the shop. For those that know New York Organic, like the soap makers, those who do little craft work, and we decided to bring them out in the night. And we really love rockers music, roots rockers music, and we decided to here's what we're going to build the system, which is like an analog old school boombox system,
right.
And we're going to play records. And we contacted Black Charity International, and we decided, listen, we're going to start this, and we want him to be the sound to Roots Yard. And from that night, I don't know, like a miracle happened, and Roots Yard was born. And after that night, Sean Leonard, one of our real good friends, and somebody who we look up to, he was like, Jude, there is no way you all can have Roots Yard here because it's going to be too small.
Right.
So I'm like, what to do? He said, yo, bro, you got to find a bigger place. And funny enough, he helped us. And then from there, we moved to at the corner of Newbold Street, Newbold Street, sorry, St. Anne's Avenue in St. Anne's. That's right next to Chinese Association.
Right.
And we started off there, and we decided, here's what, we're not going to go with tents. We're going to go with wooden sheds, and we're going to have wooden tables, and we're going to have no meat, and we're going to do no hard liquor, and we're going to have kids come on, and it was really sounding like a dream.
Right.
Not being aligned because you're not part of the art society, or you just wanted to do something that is fresh and new, and all could join, and it started. And fast forward to now, we ended up at Theatre Workshop, I think about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Stacey, Lauren, for those that know Lauren, invited us to come there. He's like, listen, the market going to do good here, and we're like, we don't know how we're going to transform that space. Because for those who probably may have known the outside space, it was like, okay, how are we going to do this? And we really invested into the space just to add to the visual arts of Trinidad Theatre Workshop.
Yes.
And lo and behold, it worked, Dominic.
Yes.
And we built a community, and we built a community based on not having the backing of the corporate entity, not having the backing of the government, backing, although we're in a space that is leased to Theatre Workshop by the government.
Right.
And we single-handedly did it with the help of God, obviously, through God. And we managed to get a lot of youth involved, and creatives and visionaries and artists and poets, you name it, from Trinidad and Tobago, topped with the night market, dirt open bread. It's a nice vibe.
Yes.
It's a really nice vibe. So five years later in May, this is where we are now.
Yes. And let's talk a bit about that community before we go into what's happening right now. That community that you've been able to build, and the persons that depend on or rely on this community. We have the vendors, we have the artists. So speak to that itself.
Well, I mean, it's 5 years in the business. What we've managed to do was really create the spaces, because this didn't start at Theatre Workshop, as
Yes.
I said, it started at Alice Yard, was really being able to switch the roles of a crafter to somebody who is actually an artist or a visionary. So what we've learned to is switch roles. What do I want if I was a vendor? I want a clean table. I don't want to pull a table out of a car because I might be rushing.
Yes.
I want to be able that even if I'm in a space that I'm inspired, if sales didn't go so good, how do we incorporate all of that together? That's not the crafters and their work. That's not the chef's work. That's not the customer work. That work is for us.
Yes.
And that's what we did. We take that very, very seriously with love. And we've managed to really cater not only for the customers, but we've really made it crafty-centric, easy for them to come in, just easy to relax. You have a chair, you have your table, you have good music, you have your light, you have your food. You know, what else? I'm like, okay, what else all I want?
Yes,
you
yes.
know, what else we could do? So the eagerness to really build the community. We didn't wait on a government subvention. We didn't wait on the corporate to bring us paint. We went out and we got it, and we spent our money, and we did it, and we did it, and we continue to do it. So building that community was organic. Bringing the people together was organic, and the results could only be organic.
Yes.
And the community was built, and it's building, and it's expanded.
Yes. And
You know?
I mean, speaking about the work,
that in a sense,
Yes.
that in a sense, putting in the work has shown. If we didn't put in the work, definitely it would not have shown
yes.
as it is today, you know?
Yes, and speaking about the work that would have gone in, the community that was built and the networking that has happened, you know, at this point for persons who may not know, as much as you can share, what is taking place with this space?
Well, to our knowledge, this is to our knowledge, and our knowledge is based on the information that we get.
Yes.
And this is the facts. We were told February, last month I should say, that Mr. Albert, the director of PTW, got the lease from public admin, and one of the measures stipulated by them is they have to get rid of Roots Yard so that they can get their lease renewed. So when we got the news, we were like, what? But how could that be an option? You know? But however, these things, you know, when these things happen, you have to take it with the information that is given from the people who you trust.
Right.
So there wasn't like, what madness is it? I was like, okay, so can we get an extra 3 months? Can we leave at the end of the year? You know, what's going on? So I left it up to them, and Stacey, who's the second in charge after Mr. Albert, she called me. She's like, dude, boy, our lawyer trying to get a little extra 3 months, but we can't. The government already said no. They wanted the sheds removed immediately. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, we didn't break the news to our vendors or anybody else yet. We just kept it because we were like, okay, let's see how this goes. We have a couple more months.
Right.
You know, if we need to start looking for space, it's fine. You know, the idea was we're not leaving. The idea was like, okay, could we get a little extra time?
Right.
And it so happened last 2 weeks, they came and said that the government said to leave at the end of the month.
At the end of March.
March, yeah,
Right.
like today. So we're like, well, how the government could tell you all 3 months, and then, you know, and this is all under public admin.
Right. And this is all word of mouth. This wasn't like written, anything written.
Yeah, nothing was was done in writing, nothing like that. So we spoke to their lawyer. We like, listen, you know, because like I said, Dominique, we live good. There's no issue. You know, we pay a rental fee. We take care of the space. You know, there were things that needed to be done just to highlight the space as much as we could do. We will do. So they gave us that. We had a meeting with them on Monday, and we gave them a letter stating, listen to me, guys, let's do this thing amicably.
Yes.
This end of month thing is not going to make sense. And even if we decide to break our sheds down, we want to do it with fun. We want to bring our community in. We want to, you know, lo and behold, yesterday we went there just to check up on the space, water the plants, you know, let's check things up. And we saw some Venezuelan guys breaking on the sheds.
So the stuff that you would have put up within your space.
Yeah. Yes. These are the sheds that we built.
Right.
Our lights, the vendor tables, you know, they were all packed up at the side. And when we went there, we saw Nigel, which is the lawyer, Lauren, Mr. Albert. We didn't see them until they were leaving.
Okay.
I saw Nigel. And he told us, well, you know, we have to do what we have to do because the government gave us a mandate to get these stuff removed at the end of the month. But peaceful as we are,
Yes.
you know, we looked on, we made sure everything was okay, and we're here this morning, ready to go back down and see what's the next move with our stuff and how we move on from here. Because, like I said, Dominic, even though we knew that they had given us the 3 months,
Right.
they just sprung us on with us within the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
And it's really now to explain to the community guys, well, this is what's going on, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see there being a way where, you know, some intervention could take place, you know, Roots Yard probably meeting with whether it's a ministry or anything of that nature? I mean, without saying too much, you know?
Well, I mean, the thing is we don't have anything to hide.
Right.
So whatever I'm saying here is fact. You know, we live good. We live good with Theatre Workshop. We don't know the people that live in the ministry. But I guess for us, it was simple. Start a project, fund your own project, do what you need to do, get it started,
Yes.
make it into something that will be a list succession. And then you could probably go to the government and say, listen, folks, this is what we have.
Yeah.
So for us, intervention is always needed in anything. We've asked for intervention with them before, as in Theatre Workshop. We were hoping that we would all go together as a unit, which was discussed. You know, we came to add to the visual arts and everything else to Theatre Workshop. So like I said, Dominic is really a surprise to us.
Yes.
We're not crying, you know, we're not disobedient people. We obey the law. So for us, is okay. There needs to be some kind of truth into this, because even though you wanted this stuff moved,
Yes.
give us a little time. Understand what it is. I mean, it's Easter time. You know, people lining up to come out and make a little dollar. Like, we actually doing the opposite to what it is we want in Trinidad, and this is leadership.
Right.
You know, and these are people that understand what culture is. I mean, these are people that come from humble beginnings. I'm sure 90% of the ministers, both in opposition and in government, really understand what these things are. There may be some who may not like galvanize, who may not like wood, who may think that, all right, certain parts in Trinidad and Tobago need to have certain things for people to like, because they're in certain areas. But funny enough, all due respect to the people in and around the Marval and Sinclair area, they love Roots Yard. I mean, and it's specifically in that area where you have all the ambassadors.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, you have a lot of the more corporate families that living in that part of. They came to Roots Yard every Saturday. They get their dirt over bread. They get the organic juices. They get their stuff. So even when they heard this was happening, they came out. They came out and support. They were like, yo, we don't want this to leave.
Yeah.
So I think basically what it is basically between Theatre Workshop and the government, as to who probably saw it fit to move it, so who wants it out. And these are how these things work in this part of the world. You know?
Yeah, we're going to keep in touch with you in terms of how this develops. But for persons who are viewing right now and they want to lend support or give advice or come out, or they may have a space, you know, how can they get on to you?
Well, I mean, our information is on Instagram. You can check us out at Roots Yard, ROOTSYRDB. You know, it's Roots Yard with 2 Ds. They can check it out. Drop us a little line on Instagram. I think one of our numbers are there. Like I said, Dominic, this is not a sad thing.
Yeah.
This is something for us to build. This is something for us as the younger ones who's coming up, those who are late bloomers, those who could actually make a difference. You don't have to wait on the government. You know, some projects may take a little bigger than some. You know, start off small. What Roots has managed to do is really spark the inspiration and creativity for a lot of people in Trinidad. You know, there's a lot more market. There's a lot more quote-unquote yard, you know, all over the space. But I think for us, it's really keeping it in a space where we can have everybody in one space. That cosmopolitan look.
Yes.
That real Trinidad love and vibe that makes us one. And we will continue to do that. You know, we'll continue to sow them seeds, and we'll continue to build these spaces. And we're going to go into the communities, and we're going to do what we have to do.
Yes.
It's as simple as that, you know.
Thank you, Jude, so much for joining us this morning and giving us this information. As we said before, we would continue to check in with you as this develops. You know, all the best to you and the team and the community that you have built. We take a short break.
Definitely.
Yes, we take a short break. When we come back, we still have lots more this morning. Stay with us.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
The best laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com. Get a Gateway 14.1-inch Ultra Slim notebook or an HP 14-inch laptop at the best prices in TNT. Get the Fire 7 tablet for $474. You can also shop the latest Amazon Fire Sticks. Call now at 32-DBEST to order or visit us in-store at Forces flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Free delivery available throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Cash or links on delivery.
Mental health can explain the behavior of bullies, but also the impact of those who are bullied.
And you have those individuals who may have, some children have what you call conduct disorders. And a conduct disorder, some of them are like to light fires, kill pets, and all these things. Now, those children could go on into adulthood and be somebody with a personality disorder, as what we call a psychopath or antisocial personality disorder.
Do they pick on or target a specific personality, their victim, or is it across the board?
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers?
Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best.
I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the Content Capital.
With society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered,
the conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN, Content Capital.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Trinidad Trinidad. Come and get blessed at the Good News Fest. Free groceries while stocks last and lots of giveaways like appliances and toys and much more with live music at each venue. 3 days only in South, March 30th at number 4 Recreation Ground, Palo Seco from 4 p.m. In Central, March 31st at Ancient Alley Promenade, Couva, 6 p.m. And in the East, April 1st, Macoya, Savannah, Macoya, 6 p.m. It's the Good News Fest, 3-day family event, March 30th to April 1st. Lots of giveaways after an encouraging word shared.
Thank you for staying with us. Our next interview, we'll be speaking to the team at Chandler Productions about a production they have coming up called Rest. Joining us via Zoom is Tiana Chandler and Michael Hudling. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi, morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
Thank you
me.
for having
No
us this
problem.
morning.
So we know that this production is to honor Janine Charles, who has been an advocate for arts in the local community. Just tell us a bit about the impact of Janine, and what she has been able to contribute, and then the inspiration for this production.
Well, here at Chandelier Productions, Janine, she really held us together, or she really did help us move forward in where we were already situated. Because while we were doing shows before her, she really did help us focus our energies when it comes to our marketing and our brand and our image, and even just our own personal creativity and our own personal musicianship and vision.
Yeah. And how does her legacy live on, amongst the group and even within the wider community, the arts community and so on?
I think so many people have been impacted by her throughout her life. Definitely, even though she's only been a part of our team since 2020,
right.
In that short time, she has impacted us so greatly, not just the company as a whole and pushing forward what we are trying to do, but us as individuals, Michael and myself, our personal interaction with her would have been so great. And she was able to continue advocating, continue motivating everybody that she worked with. And just having that energy around you could really push you in the right direction. And as Michael said, she would have helped to focus our energy to get to the goals that we were trying to achieve. And I think everybody throughout the industry that has interacted with her, that has worked with her, would be feeling that same way about the impact that she would have had on them and on their brands, and the work that she would have done to help us all move forward and get closer to what we were trying to achieve.
Yes. So tell us a bit about Chandelier Productions, how it would have started, what is the company about?
So Chandelier Productions started all the way back in 2015. We actually just celebrated 8 years of functioning, and the goal was really to continue to provide opportunities for artists, performers, musicians to showcase their talent and to get opportunities to do exactly what it is we want to do, and that is perform, and to even on the backstage end doing technical theater with stage management, lighting design, all of those things to help bring more people to the forefront so that everyone has an avenue to practice and learn and grow on major stages and on bigger concerts, doing difficult music, new music, and just to really broaden the scope of what we think we can do as performers, as creatives in Trinidad. Absolutely.
Yes. I think one of the things that I've observed over the years with the company is that there's a way that, the persons in the back are highlighted. So it's not just those that we see on stage, it's, celebrating the technical team, as you said, technical theater and so on, and understanding that there is a need for that, If that isn't going well, then what's on stage wouldn't be shown the way that it is. Tell us about the productions over the years and then about Rest that's coming up.
So Chandelier Productions, as I said, we started in 2015 with what I call our flagship production, Theatre Night Out. And to date, we've had 3 iterations of that production. The most recent actually was last year, and we featured for the first time an original script, which was actually written by Janine Charles Curry.
Okay.
So it was very exciting to be able to bring something closer to a true musical theatre experience to the Chavilla production stages. And that is something that, of course, I intend to keep having over the years and to expand it, to showcase musical theatre in different ways and to incorporate what it means to be a creative in Trinidad and Tobago and to help people explore their creativity in putting on that production.
Right.
Of course, in addition to that musical theatre, we tend to do a lot of classical music concerts, including last year we would have done The Pursuit of Greatness. Before that, we would have done For Faith and Music. And we really tend to do some pretty challenging music. I know Cass would tend to agree with me on that one. And we really, as I said, we like to challenge artists and to get them to see really what they are capable of. And so the rest is a part of that, but in a different way.
Right.
Because even though the music is challenging, somehow the feeling of the music is not as, oh my God, this is so difficult. It's like, I'm challenged, but it just goes. Once you get into it, it's going. And I've been able to sit into the rehearsals and look at the ensemble practicing, and you could just see that it's difficult, but you see that it's going, they're getting it, and they're enjoying the creation of this music.
Right.
Of course, what the production means on a whole, in that we are honoring somebody that is so important to so many of us. And even though it is the company honoring her for her impact on us, and Michael and I, of course, honoring her in our own way for the individual impact she has had on us, other members of the cast would have also interacted with her and felt that impact. So I know that it means a lot to them as well to be able to contribute to this production that honors a legacy that I don't think that there's anything we could do that could really truly honor it in its entirety.
Right.
To be able to do something small in this way. And I know Michael can share as well. This production in particular is really special because I think it was about a week before she passed when Michael would have pitched the idea to do this production, and she would have started speaking with us and putting in her input. And so even though she's not here with us today, she did contribute to this production making it to the stage.
Right.
Just being able to finish this production is so important.
Yeah, Michael, I want to bring you in the conversation. Talking about, the music that may be a challenge, it may be a bit difficult, but the artists, and the performers are pushing themselves towards it. I know you're the musical director. So talk to us from that standpoint, as artists, as performers, we have studied, we've worked towards a particular point, but then there's a need to keep challenging yourself. So talk about that.
Most definitely. So last year we did Dixie Dominoes, which is a behemoth of a piece.
Okay.
So this year, which is part of the reason for the name of the show, I said, okay, we need to do something a little less challenging. So the featured work for this production is Bach's Cantata number 106, which is Gottes Zeit ist die allerbeste Zeit, which translates to God's time is the very best time. And it is a funeral cantata composed by Bach. There's some law behind it saying that he composed it for his uncle's funeral. While we don't have anything that substantiates that claim, we do know that it was traditionally performed for funerals.
Okay.
So the name of the show, Rest, comes from the Latin word requiem. So this is the literal translation. And we're kind of creating a quasi-requiem with the repertoire that we've chosen. So the opening of the show is a composition that I did called Requiem. And the entire first half goes up until we close with a composition that I did specifically for the show that I've dedicated for Janine, that I will be accompanying Tiana. So Tiana will be singing and I'll be playing the piano for this, for that piece. And that piece is called Rest. So it's like a full circle moment that we have in the first half. And then the second half, we have this idea of anticipation and waiting for us to kind of join in the rapture, if we still believe in that.
Right.
And so we're trying to have this idea of, while we know that she's no longer with us, we know that we have things to do here and we have work to get done. So we kind of going with that inspiration. The cast has worked very hard on this production, and our last rehearsal was yesterday. They sounded amazing. I think everyone is secure, everyone is ready. I think we're going to have an excellent show on our hands.
Amazing. So tell us the details for Rest. When is it taking place, the times, location, tickets, where can persons get more information?
So the show is happening tomorrow, April 1st at 8 p.m. at the All Saints Anglican Church in Port of Spain. Tickets are $200, but just for today, ending today, we have a special on tickets that is 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. Okay. So you can access those today. And you can purchase tickets online on our website, chandelierproductiontt.com, or you can call us at 710-9436 or 295-7435 to reserve your tickets directly with Michael or myself. They're also available at the All Saints Parish office from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can visit them physically and get those tickets today. Tickets will be available at the door as well, but as I said, that ticket special for 2 persons, $300 is ending today. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Production Chandelier to get more information about the show, get some behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of our rehearsals and meet our cast members virtually and hear what they have to say about the show as well. It really is going to be an amazing production, and I really hope that everyone is able to come out and experience this moment of rest with us.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us, Tiana, and also Michael. We wish you all the best with this offering. We take a short break. When we come back, we still have lots more in store. Stay with us.
The best birthday gifts are at thebesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices. Like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Thank you for staying with us. We have our author spotlight today, and I'm excited to have this interview and bring in this guest to talk all about his book. We have joining us via Zoom, Delano Manganu, and he's going to be talking to us about DM, Inspirational Collection of Quotes. Delano, thank you for being here with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it. Now, Delano, you do amazing things. You wear many hats. Delano is a dance instructor. You know, you have your own company. You host these events. You do it all. So before we get into the book, which I know that's what we're here to talk about, tell us about Delano, how these stuff would have started and what's the inspiration? What keeps you going with all of these things that you do?
Interesting question. Well, first of all, Delano is all about creativity.
Okay.
He is someone that respects and understands his gifts. Shared, I have always been drawn to inspirational things. That's the reason why I've decided, you know what, dance is my niche, life coaching is my niche, writing is my niche. So I am all about inspiring others as I inspire myself.
Yes, that's very evident in what you do, you know, especially with the coaching and the mentoring, because I realize a lot of what you do is really to help others. So let's get into DM Inspirational Collection of Quotes. Talk to us about the inspiration of this book and then what exactly can readers expect to see?
Well, these quotes were created over a period of 5 years. I started writing these quotes on my journey to the I would go teach. And of course, I always enjoy nature. So within nature and within experiences, life experiences within myself, and also conversations with others, in a moment, like, wow, I need to make this a quote. I need to make this short, brief, but effective because this was I changing more.
Right.
I would write them down in scraps, write them down on my phone, write it on my hand. Some strange reason, I would have these very short and brief, amazing quotes in my head. And writing after my divorce. It was a terrible divorce. And I started writing on the island of Antigua, where I wrote a bunch of interesting quotes. I can't remember right now. And so writing therapy. And when I reread my quotes, I would be like, this is definitely something I need to share with the world.
Right.
There was no thought of putting it in a book. But of course, after being life coached myself and searching for self-development, I decided doing it in a book is valuable, effective, and pertinent at this point in time to save this legacy for this treasure that I have in my head.
Yes, definitely. And we really appreciate that. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll get into those quotes so persons can get a taste of what's in the book. We'll see you shortly.
Is it politics? What is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing on.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is there no pressure on Nicholas Paul?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
But if we died with Christ, we have faith that we will also live with him. We know that Christ has been raised from the dead, and he will never die again. Death no longer has power over him. He died to sin once and for all with his death, but he lives for God with his life. Join WESN as we explore the death and resurrection of Christ with He is Risen, a perspective from bearing leaders within the Christian faith. He is Risen, starting March 27th, only on WESN, the content capital.
If you're just joining us, we've been speaking to Delano, who is an author, dance instructor, motivational coach, mentor, and so much more. And he's talking to us about his book, DM, Inspirational Collection of Quotes. Now, Delano, before the break, you're explaining to us the inspiration behind the book. So tell us what inspired this collection of quotes.
Yes, this collection of quotes was definitely inspired by conversations with others, experiences, thoughts, life lessons, nature, everything that is a lesson to learn in life, which is the entire world, inspired me to write these quotes. And as I said before, over a period of 5 years, these quotes would have been spontaneously coming into my head. I didn't get up one morning and say, you know what, I'm going to write an entire book. No, it was all innate and natural, spontaneous. And I am definitely grateful for it because I've recognized that this is a gift and a gift that I should share. And, you know, I always tell persons through my experiences, one of my toughest experiences was going through my divorce. And that's when I started writing on the island of Antigua in Dickinson's Bay. And then decided, you know what, these are quite powerful and inspirational quotes to myself. I'm definitely going to save this as a legacy and place it in the book.
Yeah. So tell us about that process now, from quotes in your mind, you know, within yourself now to being in a book. Tell us about that process of creating this book.
Well, I have a lot of scraps all over. Like I have a lot of quotes sometimes. I need to retrieve them. I have them on Facebook. I probably have them on IG. I have them on some placards in my phone, in some scraps. And I used to write them on my hands as well. And after my self-development, learning about ways to share your knowledge, ways to share a course or teach people what you have learned and your knowledge, I've decided writing a book is something that is effective, it's pertinent, and it's relevant at this point in time. And it's such a sweet collection because I know a lot of people lack the discipline these days to read. So I place it as a quote. 3 lines, 2 lines, 1 line, 4 words, and there's a very short snippet of a life coaching advice or inspirational concept on the next side of the book. For me, this journey, it has been exciting. I mean, I received my first set of outlines, right? I received the first set of outlines on my birthday, and the publishers were like, we wanted to surprise you. We need you to check this out, but we know it's your birthday. And I'm like, this is a perfect gift for my birthday. I'm ready to play because I always believe that once you do what you love and you're passionate about it, it becomes play and your energy will be drawn to the right people. It is never work or tedious.
Tell us about what you want the readers, persons who purchase this book to experience, you know, while delving into the pages of it.
Well, Dominic, this is an interesting question because last week I posted something that's powerful. And the question was, who needs this book? And I stated the young entrepreneur that has no guidance, the woman experiencing domestic violence or the child experiencing domestic violence, the person that is the introvert but needs to work on their socialization skills, the person that's the extrovert but doesn't have any real or genuine friends. We have people that are living in parallel worlds that completely do not understand where they are, who they are, where they're going, even adults today. So this book really talks about self-development, and I'm taking you through my personal journey, a personal journey that is also relevant and similar to perhaps every single human being. that is living on this earth. I also made mention of the book is for my Latin American people, my Afro-Trinidadian people, my Caribbean people, my Indo-Trinidadian people. It is for everyone because it deals with a large aspect of socio-economic aspect, psychological aspect, geographic aspects. I even have quotes on my experiences with I have had experiences in terms of racial discrimination and colorism and all of those things. And I know that there are a lot of people in the world, not just the Caribbean, have experienced this. And I want them to see that because of my self-development, because of my powerful thoughts, minds, and actions, I was able to remember my thoughts and my value is most important, and not about the negative things that people think, because as we all know by now, it's their problem, not our problem.
Yeah, that's important. When, persons, that negativity comes to you, it's usually people projecting some insecurity within them. As you went through what the book deals with, those different themes on such a wide scale, it really speaks to you being vulnerable. So you putting, your story out there. And I know that you have never really had a problem with doing that because it helps mentor. But talk to us about that vulnerability, what it looks like for you now, having done your self-development, having, been in this business for a long time, doing mentorship and programs and meeting with the youth. How, what does that look for you? And what is the next step for Delano?
It is definitely empowering because vulnerability with boundaries is empowering. And that is one of the best ways we can reach people, by being vulnerable, by being open, by being honest. Of course, with boundaries, because humans, after a while, can take things for granted. But this is one of the best ways. We don't want to show a level of stoicism. We want to show a level of empathy, but we also show a level of understanding who we are and how much we give to those individuals in the world, enough that it can change their lives. The value of what we give should be enough so that it can change their lives. So I don't have a problem with being vulnerable. I'm vulnerable right now, and lots of people are looking at me. I do my utmost to be myself, to share who I am, and I am aware and I'm confident that there are people that will love my work and they would love who I am, like Dominic. Like Dominic.
Correct. Tell us about where we can get a copy of this book, where we can find you online.
Well, you can get these copies on Amazon.com and AmazonUK.com. You can also contact me as well at 758-0701, or go to my IG page called The Better You Program. It's my coaching page, The Better You Program, and we can connect. I can definitely sign that book with you, take a picture with you, have those cherishing moments. On the 30th of April, I plan to have my book launch, celebrate my book launch, all right? The 30th of April at 4 p.m. So people can connect with me. I am very organic and I'm very open. I am going to be the author that you see in front of you, talking to you personally. I like that with people, and I think people respond better when someone connects to them in real.
Yes, thank you so much, Delano, for being here with us and sharing. All the best to you. We'll definitely check in before the book launch to give persons more details on that. Have a great day, and be sure to check out Delano's DM Inspirational Collection of Quotes. We take a short break. When we come back, we still have lots more in store for you this morning. Stay with us.
With society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered,
the conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN Content Capital.
Every word, every line, every
paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs. Visit us in store at Forces Flagship McLean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
Trinidad, come and get blessed at the Good News Fest. Free groceries while stocks last and lots of giveaways like appliances and toys and much more with live music at each venue. 3 days only in South, March 30th at number 4 Recreation Ground Palo Seco from 4 p.m. In Central, March 31st at Ancient Alley Promenade, Couva, 6 p.m. And in the East, April 1st, Macoya Savannah, Macoya, 6 p.m. It's the Good News Fest, 3-day family event, March 30th to April 1st. Lots of giveaways after an encouraging word shared.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
I am Rondell Donowa, attorney at law and host of Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Strictly Legal is a legal program geared towards informing you, the public, of your legal rights, responsibilities, and remedies. So be viewing Thursdays 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Join me, Sule A. Joseph, as I delve into the day-to-day psychological issues plaguing our society. We will discuss behaviors that encompass the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how you think, act, and feel. Psyched. Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. only on WESN, Content Capital.
But if we died with Christ, we have faith that we will also live with him. We know that Christ has been raised from the dead, and he will never die again. Death no longer has power over him. He died to sin once and for all with his death, but he lives for God with his life. Join WESN as we explore the death and resurrection of Christ with He is Risen, a perspective from varying leaders within the Christian faith. He is Risen, starting March 27th, only on WESN, the Content Capital.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, it is Friday, so we do have our Flashback Friday feature. And this feature features Akuswa Dardine Edwards, who's an author, inspirational speaker, mentor, and so much more. We featured her a couple of weeks ago on the heels of celebrating International Women's Day. We had such a powerful conversation on who am I, you know, the journey to self-love, what now, where am I going? And we really wanted to share this conversation again, you know, just for persons who have not seen it before, and for us to really focus, pause, and think about these things as well. So let's watch. Of the Nina Young Women's Leadership Foundation. Welcome, Akuswa.
Good morning. Hi, Dominic.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. And we want to go straight into it, that feeling of not enoughness. I know you remember the TED Talk where you would have done, and you spoke a great length about that. Tell us about that feeling, and as International Women's Day approaches, we have all these celebrations about positivity and, the strength in being a woman and how good that is to be a woman. But there are some of us who may face challenges at this moment and might be struggling to see the joy and worth in celebrating this moment. Talk to us about that not enoughness.
Well, I think based on my own story, the not enoughness came from a couple of things. One, comparing myself to others. Two, not knowing who I am. And three, not defining what success was for me. So I started looking at what others were doing. I started wanting to do things to be a success, and it just did not seem like it was enough. I followed that formula that society gave us, where we go to school, we get a good degree or a good education, and then we move on. And it just never felt like it was enough. And so what you have to keep in mind is all of us have our own journey and our own path. And we take time to accept and embrace not just our talents, but our circumstances and where we are. And we realize that this is where we're starting from. That feeling of not enoughness starts to go down, but it's a constant work in progress.
Right.
But if you continue to compare yourself, if you continue to not know who you are, if you continue to define success by other people's standards and society's standards alone, then you will always want to prove, you will always feel most times that what you're doing is not enough. And then if you don't have that tribe, I would say that village, that support around you, that affirms you, that also plays a big part in this not enoughness.
Yes.
And not enough, it will mash you up.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you said a lot there in terms of, understanding your value within yourself. So first, quieting all the noise around you. And, being on your own, being alone, sometimes could feel like the loneliest thing. Facing that man in the mirror, as they say, or in this case, woman in the mirror, could seem very daunting. Another thing that could seem daunting is that journey to unconditional self-love. It could seem like a really difficult one to do, especially because it's a journey where you go alone, and discovering who you are. It could be one of those difficult questions. Talk to us about that.
I think, if we take the time to discover who we are, I mean, it's a simple question, right?
Yes.
Who are you? But do we ever take that time to sit down and decide who we are without the things that we own, who we are without that belief and core values that our family gives us, or the church or the religion, etc. Who are we just without all of those things? I realize that in the pit of despair, which I should say, because I lost all of those things that define success for me, and I was just left with me. So you have to ask yourself, do I even like me? Do I even know me? I even take the time every day to sit with my thoughts. And sometimes we have thoughts that sort of brutalize us because we accept them in our mind. But I think the first step towards that is defining who you are for yourself. What do I like? What brings me joy? What I don't like? Am I feeling guilty for the things that people tell me about who I am? And a lot of times we don't spend that time with ourselves because we're busy chasing and proving, and we feel that we're not enough.
Right.
it's imperative on us to really take that time, and even if it's 5 minutes in the shower, I call the shower a temple sometimes, because that's the only time that you have to yourself, maybe in the bathroom or something, but giving that signal to yourself that I am going to take a few minutes for me starts you on the journey of knowing who you are. And people define self-love as how you look. A lot of times, the capitalism comes in and we define self-love by the externals, how your nails look, how you look, etc. That is hugely important. But self-love is an inside job. And that starts with you spending time getting to know you, getting to like you, and what comes out from the inside reflects on the outside. Because if you like yourself, the decisions that you make change.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. When you speak about, getting still and spending that, such a powerful conversation on who am I, and we'll continue, exploring those conversations, having guests who would be talking about self-development and growth and so on. We take a short break. When we come back, we have one more interview before we end today's show. Stay with us.
The best for your baby is at thebesttoys.com. From the best strollers, car seats, baby carriers, high chairs, booster seats, rockers, jumpers and bouncers, walkers, baby blankets, feeding accessories, bathtubs. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McLean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 332-BABY. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for staying with us. As promised, we have our final interview this morning, and we're talking about an exciting event to go to happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. Joining us via Zoom is Daniel Milo Strings Roberts. Daniel, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good
to be here.
It's good to have you here. Right, so now you're on the other side. You're being interviewed for your own event, which is exciting, I imagine. Yep. Right.
Yeah.
So talk to us a bit. I mean, we know you as a musician. We've seen you on all stages performing with the band, with your different bands, different events, supporting artists. And now we're hearing you are the artist. Talk to us about that.
Right. So, I mean, for those who don't know, I am the guitarist, primarily the guitarist for the soca band, the A-Team. So you might have seen me on stages such as Army Fed, any all-inclusive, QRC Fed Royal. That was some of the big concerts, feds that we did this year. And we back up a lot of the soca artists, Patrice Roberts, Voice, Preedy, Second Star, you name it, we have performed with them.
Yeah.
And so, well, I've always been a singer, but, my job is to play guitar, supporting the artists. But I think now is time that I take the spotlight.
Yes, it's the right time now.
Yeah.
Tell us about your style of music. Is it soca? Is it a blend? What is that? What is your sound like?
So I like to call it island pop.
Okay.
Right? So that just means that I am mainly, I get my influences from regular pop music, the top 100 type of style.
Right.
But I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, so we have to fuse that Caribbean, Trinidad, calypso, soca influence style with it. And we mix it together. You know, one pot like a pilau.
Yes.
And we come up with island pop.
Right. So you have that local spin to that music.
You must, yes.
Nice. And we have the event coming up. Tell us about the event, what to expect at the event.
So the event is a launch. So this is me launching into this solo career, if you want to call it that. I don't know if it's that deep, but it's that.
It
it's
is. We are calling it a solo career.
Right. So it's really a launch. It's me stepping out into the spotlight, doing this thing as the front man. And yeah, so it's going to be at Kaiso Blues, well, Cafe Blue, Kaiso Blues, everyone knows it as that, on Wrightson Road. Next week, Wednesday, which is the 5th of April, 8 p.m. And the best part about it is that it's free.
I've heard. So there's no reason why persons cannot attend.
Nope.
Right?
And we really want it to be a very, intimate setting where you come. You might see your favorite artist there. You never know. I'm inviting everybody. You might see different people from the industry. It's that type of event where you come in. Yes, you're coming to see me, but you're also coming to mix and mingle with some of the industry as well.
Yeah. Tell us about, you are a musician. That's the main thing. Taking up the artistry and coming to the forefront. Has it been easy to evolve into that, or what has that experience been like for you?
No. A lot of, we watch our favorite artists on the stage, and we think that it's easy, they jump on the stage, and they just sing away and they control a crowd, and everybody thinks, wow, that must be so easy, but it's not. It's actually, I'll be real with you, it's a little scary. Being that person in front, all eyes on you, it could be a little scary, but once I tend to get lost in the music and just let that take over. And I hope that I'm able to share that with my audience, that love for the music, and let them fall in love with the music as well.
Nice. And where can persons find you on social media, keep up with your music and all that you're doing?
Well, my main Instagram, you seen it there, is at daniel.milo.strings. We also have a YouTube channel, same thing, Daniel Milo Strings. Facebook, just take out the Daniel, it's Milo Strings on Facebook. So yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. We wish you all the best at your events. We're hoping to be there as well, too, to capture some of that magic in person. We appreciate you and all that you're doing.
The rehearsal has been going great, so it's going to be a great show. I promise you, It's going to be a great show.
Awesome. Tell us about who's going to be there as well, too. Who is also going to be there?
So I have some guests with me. I was part of the Music TT. Music TT does the Spotlight program.
Yes.
So 2 Spotlight artists are going to be there as well. We have Rennie Lawrence, and we have Rai Hannah, who are also part of the Spotlight album. And then I have my good friend, soca artist, Jadel. Jadel is one of the biggest upcoming soca artists that have on the scene, so she's going to be there as well.
Nice. All right, Daniel, all the best to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. We take a quick break. When we come back, we still have a little more before we wrap up today's show. Stay with us.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
The best laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com. Get a Gateway 14.1-inch Ultra Slim notebook or an HP 14-inch laptop at the best prices in TNT. Get the Fire 7 tablet for $474. You can also shop the latest Amazon Fire Sticks. Call now at 32-DBEST to order or visit us in-store at Forces flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Free delivery available throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Cash or links on delivery.
Mental health can explain the behavior of bullies, but also the impact of those who are bullied.
And you have those individuals who may have, some children have what you call conduct disorders. And a conduct disorder, some of them are like to light fires, kill pets, and all these things. Now, those children could go on into adulthood and be somebody with a personality disorder, is what we call a psychopath or antisocial personality disorder.
Do they pick on or target a specific personality, their victim, or is it across the board?
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Trinidad, come and get blessed at the Good News Fest. Free groceries while stocks last and lots of giveaways like appliances and toys and much more with live music at each venue. 3 days only. In South, March 30th at number 4 Recreation Ground, Palo Seco from 4 p.m. In Central, March 31st at Ancient Alley Promenade, Couva, 6 p.m. And in the East, April 1st, Macoya, Savannah, Macoya, 6 p.m. It's the Good News Fest, 3-day family event, March 30th to April 1st. Lots of giveaways after an encouraging word shared.
Thank you for staying with us. Today will not be complete without our Watch This. And for today's Watch This feature, we turned to our friends at the Lightbox TT and they featured Noche Blanca with an incredible performance. I don't even have the words to describe this. I'm just going to tell you to watch this.
This is Noche Blanca coming in the scene. Dile a que no puedes dar, a que no puedes dar, a que no puedes dar. Dile a que no puedes dar, a que no puedes dar, a que no puedes dar. Dile a que no puedes dar a la parranda celestial que me va a contagiar, me va a contagiar. Dele con el 4, las maracas, a la conga, la guitarra, mandolina, la parranda me domina. La parranda me domina. La parranda me domina. La parranda. Saca la cerveza ya, pasa el pastelito acá. Esta parranda la hicimos aquí en Trinidad y nos vamos a quedar. Abre la puerta y prende la pala que ya vamos a cocinar. Saca los instrumentos musicales porque vamos a celebrar la Navidad de la isla gemela, es la más fina Navidad. Alza la pata y come calambre si no te gusta la canción. Si te quieres divertir, vámonos a parrandear. Tómate un trago de ron, saca la chacha a bailar. Si te quieres divertir en la misa más fina de toda la iglesia, de tu mente para esta música sensacional. Para ti. We're going. Yo soy el que aplaude más, yo soy el que baila, así que tráiganme el ponche crema que me lo voy a tomar. Traigan el vino casero que me lo voy a tomar. Traigan lo que traigan porque yo sí me lo tomaré. Abre la puerta y prende la pala que ya vamos a cocinar. Saca los instrumentos musicales porque vamos a celebrar la Navidad de la isla gemela, es la más fina Navidad. Alza la pata y come calambre si no te gusta la canción. Si te quieres divertir, vámonos a parrandear. Tómate un trago de ron, saca la chacha a bailar. Y te quieres divertir en la misa más fina de toda la isla, enciende tu mente para esta música sensacional. A que no puedes dar, 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 a que no puedes dar. Abre la puerta y prende la pala que ya vamos a cocinar. Saca los instrumentos musicales porque vamos a celebrar la Navidad de la isla gemela, es la más fina Navidad. Alza la pata y come calambre si no te gusta la canción. Si te quieres divertir, vámonos a parrandear. Tómate un trago de ron, saca la chacha a bailar. Si te quieres divertir en la misa más fina de toda la isla, enciende tu mente para esta música sensacional. A que no puedes dar, 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 a que no puedes dar. ¡Viva!
Incredible, right? That was Noche Blanca. Always very entertaining, always full of energy and full of life. We are thankful to our friends at the Lightbox TT who continue to showcase these artists, continue to provide a platform for these artists to showcase their work. Thank you for staying with us for today's show. We delved into so much this morning. We appreciate you. We hope that you have a great weekend and look forward to April with you. Remember, if you want to book on the show, you can reach out to us at amprimewesn@gmail.com, or you can call or WhatsApp us at 868-620-1331. We leave you with another video from the Lightbox TT. This one is from their Sight and Sound collection, and it's featuring Maya and Mikhail. Take a look.